Hi everyone, my name is Jordan. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing my top 5 reads of 2022. I know we're in 2023, but I didn't do like a top 5 on my book account. My book account is at JB Coffee Reads if you want to go follow that. I figured I would do my top 5 reads on here because maybe it can give you some book recommendations for 2023, because I really think you should read every single one of these books. They are so good. Let's get started. I'm going to start with number 5, work my way back to number 1. I love all these books literally so much, so I recommend all of them. Some of them just impact me a little bit more than others. Coming in at number 5, we have Archer's Voice. I heard so many amazing things about this book. Everyone was telling me, Jordan, you have to read it. It is so good. So I decided to finally pick it up. I really had no idea what it was about. I just knew that it was about someone named Archer, and he doesn't speak to anybody. He just doesn't have the ability to speak, and I thought that was really interesting because I had never read a book about someone who had a disability, so it was really interesting. Basically, it's about this girl named Bree. She moves to Maine, trying to leave a really bad situation she was in, and she meets Archer, and Archer's kind of like the weird kid in town. Like, no one kind of talks to him. He's kind of dismissed, but for some reason Bree feels a really strong draw to him. This book was so beautiful. I just remember my heart the whole time. You just don't like find a love like this often because it was just so pure. So this, definitely a very good book. Coming in at number 4, this was probably the book that surprised me the most out of all the books I read because of how much I loved it, and that is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I know Colleen Hoover is kind of like controversial. Some people love her books, some people hate them. I personally loved this book so much. I just remember it was sitting on my shelf and someone said to me, Jordan, it's a perfect summer read, you should read it. So I took it to the beach, and that it was. This was such a good book. I literally remember being like, wow, wow. It is about this girl named Bea, and her mother has passed away from overdose. She's had a really rough childhood, basically on her own, and she has to go live with her dad on a beach. I don't exactly remember where she moved to, what beach exactly, but she runs into Samson on the boat ride, I believe, over to her dad's house. I love this book. Like, I don't even want to give it away because I went into it extremely blind, and then I just like fell in love with the characters. Like, I remember the line in the book that had like the title in it. Like, I will never forget it. I just think everyone should read this book. Okay, coming in number 3, which was a book I read recently that I love so much, so freaking much, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Oh my god. First of all, the cover. It is one of my favorite covers I've ever seen in my entire life. I love this book. I love this book. So basically it's about this girl named Anastasia and this boy named Nathan, which I love Nathan so much. Anastasia is a competitive figure skater who's trying to make it to the Olympics. Nathan is trying to make it professional for ice hockey. Unfortunately, they have to share a ice hockey rink because of a prank gone wrong. I loved this book. It's Grumpy Sunshine, which I love. I have really fallen in love with Grumpy Sunshine. Their relationship is just so great. Nathan is literally the best. I loved every single character in this book. At the beginning, I thought there was like too many characters, but all of them are significant one way or another. I love Henry. I'm so excited for him to get his own book. I'm so excited for this universe to just grow. Read this book. Please read this book. Like, I love it so much. Coming in on number 2, this is the first book in a series. That is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Guys, I know you have probably heard so many things about this book. Like, this series is everywhere, but you should read this book. I love this series. This series makes like my heart happy. I feel like all the characters in this book are literally my family. Like, I would die for each and any one of them. The first one follows Lily and Lo. They are childhood best friends. They've grown up together. They went to the same college, and they both have really bad addictions. Lo is an alcoholic and Lily is a sex addict, and they have been covering for each other pretty much their whole entire lives. I remember picking it up and I was just like reading it, and I was like, wow, this book is so good. A lot of people think that the first one is kind of meh. I loved it, but some people think the first one is kind of meh, so I definitely recommend picking it up, and if you don't like it, I think you should definitely continue on with the series. I really haven't heard anyone not like this series, so let me know if you've read this and you're just like meh about it. I love this book. Love this book. Love this series. Trust me, you will want to follow them. Coming in at number 1. This is the book that made me fall in 1000% love with reading again. I remember reading this book and just wanting to throw it at the wall. I was laughing hysterically. I was crying so hard from this book, and that is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. My first Colleen Hoover book I have ever read. If you don't know what this book is about, I feel like everyone knows what this book is about. It is about Fallon and Ben, and Fallon is about to move to New York City to pursue her dream of acting. Fallon and Ben meet at this restaurant. They kind of have like this amazing day, but Fallon's like, oh, I'm leaving, like we can't really be anything. They make this pact that they're gonna meet up every year on November 9th. I love this book. Like, I know there are people that either love this book or just don't really care about it, don't like it that much. Like, when I think about this book, I think about me sitting in my chair with COVID at home last year, my jaw to the floor. How can a book make me feel this way? I owe a lot to this book. I have made all my friends read it. I will make everyone in my life read it at some point. I love this book. Those were my top 5 reads of 2022. I am so excited for 2023. If you have read any of these books, please let me know what you thought. Comment your top 5 reads because I'm trying to branch out, because as you can see, all of these are like romance. More fantasy, thrillers, YA. I've got a few YAs that I have. More like dystopian novels as well. Let me know what you are planning on reading in 2023. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Goodbye.